like you. Be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one.
Hello everyone, welcome back. Have you ever come across a post that, at first glance, seems completely ordinary, yet somehow feels different? No big words. No obvious hidden message. No effort to grab attention. Just a brief Instagram story that passes quietly across the screen. And precisely because of that simplicity, the smallest details begin to speak the loudest. Some time ago, Jimin uploaded an Instagram story. On the surface, there was nothing remarkable about it. No dramatic framing. No long caption. No narrative being pushed. Just a single quiet moment shared, and then gone. But for those who are used to noticing patterns, not hype, not grand theories, but consistency, something about it felt slightly unusual. Not wrong. Not glaringly out of place. Just different. The camera angle felt unfamiliar. The texture of the light wasn't what we usually see. The color balance, the way shadows fell, even the overall visual character of the image carried a sense of familiarity, yet not one that fully belonged to Jimin. There was something there that couldn't be explained immediately, but was clear enough to be felt. And from that quiet difference, a question slowly formed, almost unconsciously: who was really behind this moment? From the beginning, this discussion was never meant to be about phones. Not about brands. Not about operating systems. This is not a tech comparison. This is about closeness. Closeness so natural that it never needs to be announced. Jimin is known as someone remarkably consistent in how he presents himself to the public. Gentle. Controlled. Steady, in the best sense of the word. He has long been associated with Samsung, and he has never tried to blur or alter that image. No official statements. No excessive clarifications. Just a routine that flows as it always has. Yet some of the photos he has posted recently carry visual characteristics that many people instantly recognize. A distinctive shooting angle. Soft lighting. Natural color processing. Even camera behavior that feels different. For those familiar with visual details, all of this points toward one hard-to-ignore conclusion. These photos look like they were taken with an iPhone. And that's where curiosity begins, not as noise, but as a quiet space filled with questions. This isn't about money. Finances are irrelevant. Jimin can buy anything, anything. What makes this interesting is context. These photos weren't taken in one place. Not on one day. Different outfits. Different backgrounds. Different moods. This wasn't a one-off coincidence. And when patterns start to emerge, people naturally begin connecting the dots. A theory surfaced, slowly, without force, without dramatization, that these photos may have been taken using Jungkook's phone. Not as wild imagination, but as a conclusion drawn from repeated visual consistency. Jimin has always been comfortable with Android. That has been his habit. So when a different trace appears again and again, it's only natural that attention turns in that direction. From here, there are only two possibilities. And interestingly, both carry the same meaning. Either Jimin has complete freedom to use Jungkook's phone anytime he wants, without hesitation, without boundaries, without awkwardness. Or Jungkook was physically present in those moments, close enough to be the one taking the photos himself. Whichever is true, the message remains unchanged. There is no distance between them. No space being guarded. No boundaries needing emphasis. Just ease. Just trust. And that is where many people fall silent. For those who live under constant scrutiny, a phone is not a trivial object. It holds private routines, conversations, schedules, even emotions. It is one of the last protected personal spaces. To share that space casually, without announcement, reveals more than any interview ever could. To some, this detail may seem insignificant. But to those who understand closeness, details like this speak with striking clarity. When this theory first appeared, it was laughed at, called exaggerated, dismissed as ridiculous. Those who had long insisted that Jungkook rejected Jimin suddenly grew uncomfortable with how consistent this picture was becoming. But reality does not require approval to exist. Narratives built on denial slowly begin to crack, not because of grand arguments, but because of small details that keep appearing again and again. Jimin and Jungkook have repeatedly shown themselves to be two people deeply comfortable with each other. Not loud, not excessive, just natural. What we see is not intimacy on display, but closeness that has become routine. And it would feel strange if they didn't spend time together whenever they had the chance. In Are You Sure? That connection is never presented dramatically. It appears steady, consistent, like a quiet dependence, something human, not performative. Jungkook shows up without being asked. He notices without needing to be told. He adjusts as if it's already instinct. This isn't about protection. It's about care. The way Jungkook touches Jimin, holding hands, brushing fingers, leaning closer, is always careful, respectful, and intentional. As if he truly understands how precious the person in front of him is. Yes, Jungkook can be awkward when expressing affection. Even Jimin has teased him about it. But there is no bitterness there. Only warmth. Because beneath that awkwardness lies a consistency that never wavers. Jungkook is always there. He cooks for Jimin, cleans, feeds him, cuts his food so Jimin can eat comfortably. Small actions that never feel like obligations, but instincts. And all of this makes even more sense when we remember where Jimin comes from. His family recently received the Noble Green Family Award, an honor rooted not in fame, but in sustained kindness and genuine care for others. Values practiced daily, not announced. It reminds us that Jimin's gentleness is not an act. It is inherited, learned, built through consistency. That is why all of this feels so real. Because when someone chooses to care, chooses to share space, chooses to remain present, even in the smallest details, it is not coincidence. It is choice. And Jungkook chooses Jimin. Again and again. Quietly. Without spectacle. Which brings us to a question that never seems to disappear. Why do people keep asking about Jungkook's girlfriend? If someone truly believes that Jikook isn't real, that every interaction is just performance, the simplest choice would be to ignore them completely. No one is forcing anyone to watch. Yet the opposite happens. They keep watching, keep analyzing, keep dissecting every glance, every pause, every touch. From something they claim doesn't exist. At this point, many people no longer feel the need to explain why they believe. Not because they can't, but because they don't have to. This belief doesn't weaken. Every moment only reinforces it. What we're seeing isn't coincidence. It's continuity. They always return to each other. Always connected. Always emotionally aligned. Too human to be fabricated. After Are You Sure? Season 2, one thing becomes even clearer. Emotionally, they were never apart. That intimacy doesn't require confession. That harmony doesn't need explanation. And that's why, whenever they appear together, noise always follows. But when the noise fades, what remains is always the same. Jimin and Jungkook, standing side by side, choosing each other, sharing a space that clearly belongs only to them. In the end, this was never about a phone. Not Samsung. Not iPhone. Not a camera. It's about what those small details represent. Trust given without hesitation, distance no longer maintained, and routines so natural they cannot be faked. Jimin and Jungkook have never needed to explain what they have. Because what they show has always been consistent. And real. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.